Welcome back, everybody. Look what's back. We're on our maiden voyage with the camper and the 6.0 swap Suburban. So we'll see what we break this time. But we're going to be out for a few days. Come over here and check this out, though. We're right here at Lake Nimrod. And you got to check out the dam when you're coming through here because it's kind of cool. So this is a really old dam. I don't remember when it was built, but it's pretty old. But you can walk out on it and look out at the lake. Good spot to watch a sunset right here. And then you can look off the other side and look down the creek. And when it's really roaring, it'll be coming over. You don't climb on the side, Laser. It'll be coming over like the spillway. Right now it's running through the dam, but when it really is raining and the lake's up, it'll be coming over the spillway, and it's just roaring when it's doing that. We're gonna head on down into the Ouachitas a little ways, down some dirt roads, and get to a primitive camp spot, hopefully on the lake. We'll see if we can get there, if there's already somebody there or not, but we're gonna camp out here in a primitive spot somewhere, if we can get there. So the spot we wanted to go, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 trees. Last time we were here, there was trees down, so I thought there would still be trees down, but there's more now than there was last time. I don't know if this is going to be worth spending a couple hours cutting trees out of. It's a cool spot, but I may have to come back with a tow truck and clear the road and camp here another time and go over to a different spot for now. I'll think about this for a minute and we'll make up our mind. All right, we went over to the other area that's nearby because it's just too late to cut up a bunch of trees tonight. Sun will be setting before too long, but you can see the lake's right there. Not quite as close as the other spot would be, but it's still a pretty good spot to set up for the night. And we didn't have to cut 14 trees out of the way. So we're gonna start getting camp set up and get some food made, I think. Caleb found a grub by camp, so we're gonna go ahead and get a bobber in the water. Who knows, maybe we'll catch something. As soon as we threw it out, that bobber hit the water and it immediately went under, which is a good sign. Unfortunately, the fish got off and got the hook snagged on a rock, and most of the grub is gone now, so we have to find some more bait. So we got a couple problems. Evidently, our propane just ran out. I thought it was fairly full when I grabbed it from the house, but it wasn't, so we're out. We got a few little bottles, but they are all basically empty as well. So we're gonna try to get supper made, and if we run out, I guess we'll start a fire and cook over the fire. And then I've discovered that our tent on the camper, the cover must be leaking because we put it up dry, and now this end right here is wet. So we've got a leak in our cover. I just did a video on that recently saying how we'd never had a leak. Well, now we got a leak. and we got to get it fixed or we're gonna have major mold issues. So we're trying to dry out that part of the tent. I got the Milwaukee fan up there running. So a couple minor issues, just part of it, unfortunately. But we're not gonna have enough propane to cook breakfast either. We have basically only cooking food for breakfast. We don't have really any cold food, so we'll figure it out. In the morning it'll be cooler and it really wouldn't be that bad to cook over a fire, so we might just cook bacon and eggs over the fire in the morning instead of using propane. We'll go old-fashioned. And the boys are looking for more worms, so who knows? Maybe we'll find some worms, maybe we'll catch some fish, maybe not. There, I managed to get dinner made without running out of propane completely. So we got some chicken spaghetti of some sort and some green beans. And we're gonna get some storms tonight at some point. They're still a ways off, but it's looking like it's gonna storm on us tonight. So I got everything tied down, so hopefully we'll be all right. How bad could it be? I mean, grapefruit-sized hail and tornadoes is about the worst. We're getting the dishes wrapped up here. Kids are sort of in bed. They're in bed, they're not asleep. We're gonna have some chocolate, because dark chocolate with raspberry in it after the kids goes to bed. Sounds good. When it's hot like this though, you gotta keep it in the refrigerator. Otherwise you just have melted chocolate, which isn't as good.
Sure.
Unless you're Sarah and you like things melted. She likes her ice cream like halfway melted. I like mine as cold as possible. I want to have to chew my ice cream. She wants to slurp her ice cream. We've got a bunch of lightning off that direction, which is kind of south and east. And then there's more lightning off to the west. We're kind of surrounded by storms, but so far they're all avoiding us. But at some point tonight, we'll probably get hit. We might not. They're kind of scattered thunderstorms, so it's possible we get missed, but it's also possible we get slammed with a pretty good storm. So we'll see what happens.
Kev, I'm filming for Mommy. She's making a fire. After this, I've gotta go pee. Cause it's cold out here. Mommy's cold.
It's a black widow. That's her egg sac over there. Don't be messing in there. I don't want you to get bit.
I'm just looking.
Smoke, Caleb.
good morning, everybody. We're fishing. Caught me a pretty little bluegill here. See if we can catch some more. All right, toss out towards those rocks over there, Giddy. We're in a good spot now. I'll just let us drift a little bit. Keep it moving, maybe a little bit faster than that. Here's a pretty sunfish right here. Nice yellow belly on them. Not quite big enough to keep though.
No, but I'm videoing.
Finally landed a bass. It's the fourth one I've hooked into, and they've all come off right at the boat when I was trying to get them in the boat. I don't have a net. Nothing special, but fun to catch. What'd you catch? What is it? It's a little bass.
Can we keep it?
No, too little.
Can you get you some bacon?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you want bacon. You don't want bacon, do you?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want bacon.
Mm-hmm.
Bacon's yucky. Would you like a deep fried egg? You would?
Well, cooking over the fire is not our least favorite, but it's also not our favorite. It's just more difficult. Just having a gas stove that you can stand at and have consistent heat is a surprisingly major convenience when you're trying to cook up a lot of food in a hurry. But we got food, cooked bacon and eggs, and had some apple for breakfast. And now we're just gonna have to go ahead and start packing up so we can get on the road to our next destination. We're gonna be working our way down through some of the Ouachitas, places we haven't been for the most part, I think. And hopefully somewhere along the way we can find some place to get some propane, which might be difficult because we're going into areas where there's not really much of any kind of stores. So we'll see. We'll bounce out for a little bit and grab some somewhere.
Daddy?
I'm not sure yet if I'm glad I brought the canoe or not. It's kind of a lot of work to load and unload, but kind of wanted to try it out and see how things would go with it. So we're doing it. All right, canoe's loaded, tent's packed, kitchen's cleaned up, everything is packed. We just gotta get the rest of the kids in the vehicle and get back on the road. It's about 9:30, a little bit of a slow start this morning. We're a little out of our groove, plus not having our fuel. We're just, somebody's not happy. We hadn't been in the camper in a few weeks, maybe a month. I don't know. We went to a cabin last weekend. We were searching the Ouachitas for Joshua Caskey, which we're going to be doing a little bit more today. But we're just a little bit out of our groove. The heat has set in. The humidity is here. Luckily, we didn't get stormed on last night. There was severe thunderstorms to our south, severe thunderstorms to our north, and somehow it barely sprinkled here and everything split and went around us. But we're going to get on the road and hopefully have a good day. It's been a little bit of a rough start, but some mornings are just that way. Some days are that way, some weeks are that way. But you got to just keep on going and work through it. So we'll be good. We just got to get going and work on our mindset a little bit, get back in the groove of being at camp. we've been traveling overall some pretty boring roads in the Ouachitas. There's just a lot of dirt roads out here with not much to see. We're kind of in an area where there's a creek now, and there's also a big old tree down on the road. This probably fell in those storms last night, but nobody's been through here, obviously. This is a big tree. It's like a big red oak. We can get it cut up. I'm going to break a sweat doing it, though. Well, this job's too big for the Milwaukee, so the real chainsaw had to come out today. Glad I brought it. I was afraid of this happening because there's been so many storms, so I brought the big chainsaw just in case, and we're going to need it. I'm going to try to cut some chunks of this and pull it out of the road because this is heavy green oak, and it's going to be hard to move it all by hand. We can do it, but it's going to take a long time to cut, so we're going to try to figure out a way to cut some chunks and drag them out of the road. Well, it took a little while, but that tree's out of the way. We're gonna cruise on down the road now and see what else we get into. Hopefully not any trees. We just ran into another guy and he said he came in from way far down in here without any trees, so maybe we won't see any more today. I'd be all right with that. It's just way too hot to be cutting up trees. Well, it is hot in the Ouachitas, and there's a ton of cicadas. don't know if you can hear those. There's a big hatch of them. They're just echoing through the hills right now. We've been trying to find a spot to stop for lunch, and we can't even find a spot in the shade at the moment. The particular road we're on, there's just nothing. So we're gonna pull some cheese and crackers out, and I think try to eat on the road, because there's no good spot to stop. We don't really want to stop for a long time in a place where there's no place to get out of the sun or the heat or anything like that. So I'm going to find something to cut up and eat on the road, and we're going to keep pushing on down into more interesting places, which we will get to eventually. All right, cheese, crackers, pretzels, trail mix, and we're moving again. We stopped off here, low water bridge, and a beautiful little swimming hole on the creek right here. Little rocks over there, rope swing, and a little platform there. It's too bad there's not a swimming or a camp area here. There's a blackberry right here too. Sarah and I were just talking about that earlier. We were like, I wonder if the wild blackberries are ripening up yet. I bet this one's gonna be a little bit sour. No, pretty good. We might have to keep an eye out for a good blackberry patch. Make some blackberry cobbler or something. Here's a bunch right here, but they're not ripe, so won't be long though. They're red, so they'll be turning black soon. There's one right there.
She is now into blackberries. You got another berry. There's a few more over here.
We've stopped off at a little recreation area, give the kids a break. There's a tiny, tiny playground here, so they're running around on that. And there's a swimming hole down here I gotta go look at. But there's no camping here because it's a flash flood area. So kind of a nice little area. Well kept. Little pavilion, little playground, and a swimming hole. Didn't know it was here. Never seen it before. It's always fun to find new stuff.
Is that clean water? Very big. Is that?
We came across an old school / church building just coming out of the National Forest here. Always cool to see these places because there's not a whole lot of them left. We're down here by a little lake. I actually don't know what this lake's called. It's close to Mena, Arkansas, but I think it's too close to town. There's kind of a camp spot here, but it's just one of those spots that's probably the local hangout spot, and so it's kind of trashed. It's not terrible. Like, this wouldn't be too bad. It's also not great. The good spot's already taken, so I don't know. We may just keep going, get back in the National Forest. It'd be nice to go ahead and start setting up camp, but I don't know if we want to camp here. Well, we have finally made it to camp, and everybody's in bed except me. A little bit of a flop this afternoon. Actually, kind of the whole day to a certain degree, but we'll survive. It's really late. We didn't even eat supper. We just skipped, and we're going to bed, and we're gonna have a good breakfast in the morning. So, not at a great camp spot, but it's the best we could come up with, all things considered. So we're going to get some sleep, hopefully, and hopefully avoid these nasty thunderstorms that are potentially headed our way. Fortunately, we did end up with some cell service, so we can keep an eye on the radar, which is nice to be able to do just in case. But we're gonna get some sleep. It's late.